So the next one is raw cacao. So that's a Curlian photograph of a cacao bean. So let me do that again. Goji berry, cacao bean. Those are pretty good foods to add into your diet if you want to feel more vibed. I also suggest people start slow on them, because if they're really energetically down, this can be such a boost. They actually feel a little bit like, what's going on? Like, hello, I'm going up too fast. And that can happen. I'm almost not so concerned about it, because right now we need people to go higher faster, because the consciousness level of the planet is rising to avert calamity, but it needs to go quicker. You know? If that's even possible. Nothing can go faster than it's going, actually, because everything's going perfect. But by the same statement, I'm telling you guys that don't worry about it, just eat. Because it's assisting. So raw cacao may be one of the reasons you've heard about superfoods. It is one of the most exciting and fun and approachable and includable superfoods. I kind of look at it as the Trojan horse superfood, because it comes in masquerading as a food you all know so well. And then it brings in all of these nutrients undercover that you had no idea that chocolate had. And then you can also add lots of other stuff to the chocolate that comes in with it. It's like a carrier of medicine, a potentiator of absorption. There's some key differences I need to point out though. I'm not talking about chocolate here. Chocolate is the stuff that they grow in fields, in equatorial regions, normally a hybrid type of chocolate called CCN51, which is more like a little bush. That type of chocolate does not have the mineral levels, does not have the flavor levels. It causes the jungle to be chopped down. Not the same stuff as what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about heirloom varieties of ancient cacao strains. This particular one that we have is called what's a Theobroma cacao? They all are, but this one is Fino de Roma. It's a National Arriba variety of Ecuador. So it's incredibly flavoursome, rich tasting. And some of the trees that we get it from are over 100 years old. And those are old trees still growing in the jungle. Chocolate also then goes through a process of roasting, and then they add dodgy dairy powder and sugar, refined white sugar, which is basically crack cocaine in food. Basically, even just surface research you do on the negative effects of refined sugar will show you that when I say it's crack cocaine, I'm serious. It's exactly what. Mixture between that and heroin, it's pick a poison. So for that reason, chocolate really is not a superfood, it's poison. But you can now get the true original raw version of chocolate, which is cacao. So all chocolate is made from cacao, but the damaging that happens and the stuff that's added makes it a junk food. So we now get the beans whole, or the nibs, which are the crushed one, or the powder, which is powdered down cacao nibs, or the paste, which is 100% pure, smooth chocolate paste. It's basically like 100% dark chocolate chunks. Or the butter, which is the cold pressed fat out of the nib. So those are the forms it comes in. And you use them for different things. Again, we have a lot of recipes in Rawlicious for how to use it. There are recipes on the box, on the internet for free. You can have a look at that. But why do we want to be eating raw chocolate? Magnesium, number one. There are three key things for me with raw cacao. Magnesium, firstly. It is a mineral that is severely lacking in the diets of Westerners. It might be the top deficient mineral in the diets of Westerners. I remember when I first had hair mineral analysis done, when I was transitioning into raw foods, my magnesium levels, they almost couldn't pick them up. The person looking at this test was like, oh my gosh, like how are you even still alive without any magnesium in your body? And I had such shakes, I couldn't hold a cup in one hand without shaking the water out. And that's magnesium usually, because magnesium allows your muscles to relax, to be calm. So you can see that, is our society a calm, relaxed society? Major magnesium deficiency. Major magnesium deficiency. So you just get more magnesium into the society and they're going, oh, we don't need to rush around so much. It's quite effective actually. The other key in magnesium is that it's concentrated 10 times in the heart, more than any other organ. So it's a heart balancing mineral. Key for heart health. So for cardiovascular health, an amazing, amazing food. For other reasons too. there is actually so much research that has been done on cacao and why it's a health food that it's quite staggering. I mean, I've got a few links on my website you can check out. I'm talking like almost hundreds of research studies, published studies on why chocolate is a health food. Okay, then we have antioxidants. So we said the gojis were high in antioxidants. Cacao is even higher than goji berries in antioxidant value. This is a comparison of some of the superfoods. I had this done myself. I tested locally. I tested at least yearly to make sure that the antioxidants are still where they should be. So these are not values I've gotten off the internet, which a lot of people just do. So goji berries normally come at 200 per 100 grams, which is really high. But that puts gojis down here. Remember earlier the goji berry was like up there compared to the other foods. But goji is now at the bottom of the list. Spirulina is double to triple goji berries. Cacao beans, about similar to spirulina. And then cacao powder is up to 5 times higher than goji berries. Why is the powder higher than the beans? Because the fat doesn't contain the antioxidants. So when you press out the fat, which is what happens with the powder, you concentrate the antioxidants. That's why the powder has more. So this value at 1,700 is unbelievably high. That's more than 10% bioflavanol antioxidants. That's some of the highest. I mean, I had a professor from UCT come to our shop once to get samples of our cacao because he thought I was lying. When I do these tests, the first time I did it, the guys who do the analysis, they said to me, we've never seen chocolate with levels like this. Because chocolate will normally show about 10 times lower levels than this. Because the roasting process destroys most of the antioxidants. So when you consume raw chocolate, it really is a different thing. You are getting nutrients that are way higher than what you would get with normal dodgy chocolate. And then lastly, dodgy chocolates. Lastly, and for me, almost the most powerful reason why cacao is here for us now is its antidepressant properties. It is likely the most powerful antidepressant food we currently have. Why are people depressed today? I mean, there are a number of reasons, but for me it's quite simple. The body is not happy. Why is the body not happy? It's being blasted by chemicals, it's being blasted by radiation, it's not being fed enough nutritional density, so it's basically starving. It's lacking sleep quite often, it's not getting exercise, it's not getting enough water, so it's dehydrated. Like, how is that going to be expressed to you? How is your body going to get the message through to you that there's an issue? That it's upset? I think that's called depression. I mean, it might be overly simplistic, but hey, I mean, try doing all those things that I've just said and see if your depression sticks around. It might not. It likely won't. I've seen in people that it hasn't. But there are a number of reasons why it's a powerful antidepressant food. Mainly it contains neurochemical precursors and brain balancing nutrients which allow our brains to be more in the state that they were in when we were children. So you get nutrition for your brain in the same way you get nutrition for your heart or your kidneys or any other organ. So when you're deficient in brain nutrition, your brain can't work as well. And then we kind of like get upset easily. And we're more irritated. And we're a little bit more foggy, less focus, poorer memory, all this kind of stuff. You're losing nutritional value that your brain needs. Omega-3s are essential for that. But then you've also got things like serotonin, dopamine, PEA, anandamide, tryptophan, B vitamins. These are all key nutrients needed for brain health that you get from raw cacao. Cooked chocolate has very little of them. It still has some. And the reason I know this is that you guys will probably know if you're feeling a little bit down, what food would you normally go for? Chocolate. Raw cacao has, on average, up to 10 times higher of these nutrients. So that means you need to eat a lot less to get the effect that you were getting eating the dodgy chocolates. For this reason, some people also find it a little bit stimulating because it does influence brain chemistry, it does lift your mood or your perspective, and some people quite like being all like, blah. I don't know, they do. It's like an addiction, it's like a crutch. Hey, I mean, then rather eat dodgy chocolates.
If you have that mixed with protein, it makes you
Yeah, so Foti is a medicinal herb, a Chinese herb, and mixing it with chocolate can produce near psychedelic results.
Yeah, really. The first time I had it, I was like so awake. I was like, it's ready to go.
The reason it's doing that is cacao naturally has MAO inhibitors, so that's why it's effective as an antidepressant. Normally all of these nutrients would be mopped up by your brain and you wouldn't really feel the effect of them. But the MAO inhibitors block the early breaking down of these key nutrients, and Foti is an MAO inhibitor-rich food. So if you combine it with chocolate, then you get more of these goodies. Okay, that's the story there. So for me, this is a key food right now to get into people, to make them start feel better, so they can start choosing better. Because for years I try to give people green juice. I'd be like, yeah, have this green juice, it'll make you feel better. And they'd be like, get that stuff away from me. I'm not even remotely interested in putting it anywhere. I mean, you may have had this yourself. And I was like, okay, not getting the results. You know, I know green juice is going to make them feel good, but they're not interested. And then I learned from David Wolf, he was my mentor. I mean, he's done a lot of the research on chocolate. Chocolate is a much easier thing to get into people. You know, they know chocolate, they like chocolate. So you make them chocolates and you hide wheatgrass powder in there. And spirulina powder, and goji berries, and maca, and all of it. Just stick it all in the chocolate. You say chocolates, and they're like, yes, yes, give me the chocolate. And you're like, for health foods. You know, and that's how I think it works. It's a great way. I mean, you want to know what to take to someone's house when they invite you over for dinner? Chocolates. You know, you're sneaking some of the most potent health food into them that they may never have been exposed to before. That's why I love raw cacao. There's some people out there that don't like it because they say, you know, it's too stimulating and all this stuff. And some people, to be honest, are very sensitive to stimulants. And even just a little bit sends them right through the roof. If you're one of those people, then maybe eat chocolate in the morning. And don't eat it every day. You know, every now and again. That's totally fine. You've got to, you know, make it work for you. And that's the key thing. It works differently for different people. Some people, chocolate does not work for them at all. They should not eat it. I don't know why. It's a crazy idea that they shouldn't. But we're all different. So I just allow that difference to exist rather than like going against it. In the same way that some people really do need it. And they absolutely should be eating it. Baron is an absolute chocoholic. She'll be the first one to tell you that. May have something to do with the fact that she was brought up in a bakery, but she loves it. Okay, so that's all the stuff in chocolate. I mean, there's a lot of other stuff if you do your research on it, but those are the key things.
For antidepressants, is that better than CACAO?
They work differently. I would definitely combine them.
CACAO chocolate.
Yeah, camu chocolates, very nice. Yeah. Now camu chia chocolates.
CACAO chocolate.
And you get the omega-3 in for the brain health. That would be a good one. You know, if you want to do it easily though, you just have to take the trail mix or the chia meal and put that in your chocolate.
Yeah.
That's what we've been doing. Okay, so I'm getting onto that one next. I've gone